This video is going to be for Wright-Patterson Mah Jongg players. If you don't know how to play yet, or you're curious about this style, there are links below to a lesson playlist and some videos of all the different hands you can play with Wright-Patterson. So check those out. You could also stick around and watch this. You might find it interesting. So for those Wright-Patterson players, have you ever played and thought to yourself, I'm in between hands or categories. Which one do I pick? Well, this exercise might help with that coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome. Let me show you how it works. You're going to need a smartphone or a camera, whichever will be fine, and some dice. With Wright-Patterson style, where you're seated matters, because there are hands that actually call for your seat wind or the prevailing wind. The prevailing wind is where the wall was broken. That's where the dice come in. So I'm going to say I'm temporary east to figure out which seat wind I'm in. So I'm going to roll the dice, and I rolled an 11. So if I am east or temporarily seated at number 1, I'm going to count counterclockwise from 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I would be west this time. So if west is across from 1, the seats are 1, 2, 3, 4, and east is 1. I started at 1, therefore seat 3 is west. That means that this seat, temporary 1, is east. So I'm going to roll the dice to see who would be prevailing. I rolled an 8. So north is prevailing. If I count from east, which is 1, and then count counterclockwise 2, 3, 4, that's north. Eat soup with nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am sitting at seat west, and north is prevailing. And again, that's important if I decide to play a hand that requires either my seat wind or prevailing wind. I know it's a little complicated, but if you watch that playlist, it'll make more sense. So I'm going to put up a 4 so that we can be reminded of who prevailing is. So let's get started with this random pull. So I've got 4 on the dice here, and I'm going to take 13 random tiles. There they are. There's my drawn hand. Now I'm going to create the Charleston. This is a mock Charleston, and incidentally, in Wright-Patterson style, the flowers are not played in your hand. They're bonus tiles. So I removed all the flowers from here. And also, there's no jokers in Wright-Patterson style. So all the jokers are out of here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my drawn hand. Let's see how we ended up here. So there's the starting hand, the drawn tiles. I'm going to take a picture of it because I'm going to recreate this. So what I see here is a lot of cracks, and I have 2 pair. I also have some winds, and then I have 2 other suits. I could try for a mixed suit hand. Let's see which one. I might go for, since I have like, I do have a lot of 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could go for big chows and we'd have 6 discards. If I go for a pair hand or a sequence hand with all cracks, I would only have 5 discards. So I think I might play that. I could even maybe go for a jewel hand if I get some dragons. So let's see what happens here. I think I'm going to stick with cracks. So let's pass these. I'm going to take a photo of that because I got to recreate that pass. And I'm going to put it in my hand here. So we've got bams, dots, and a green. I'm going to keep the green. I don't think, I mean, I might be able to play dazzle, which is 5 pair with dragons, or 5 pair with winds. I don't know which yet. I'll just keep it and see what happens. Let's go ahead and pass these. 3 dot, 9 dot, 4 bam. So let me take a photo of that. I'm going to keep that red, and here I have tiles I can pass. We didn't get a single crack. So I'm going to take a photo of that. There's no optional cross with Wright-Patterson. We're done. So I ended up with 3 discards, and I'm in between Frizzell, which is 5 pair with news, or dazzle, 5 pairs with dragons and 1 dragon paired. Those are all on page 23. So that is what I would do instinctively. Let's rebuild it and see if maybe Big Chow's was better, because I think Big Chow's was another option. So I'm going to look back on my photos and I'm going to rebuild this. We had an east-west, 1 cracks, 3 crack, 5 crack, 8 crack. Then we had 6, 8, and 9 dot. And then a 6 bam and a 7 bam. That's how we started. And now I'm going to look at the other 3 pictures and I'm going to recreate the Charleston. I'm going to try to forget what's in there. You just have to kind of trick your mind a little bit to test yourself. So we're really just looking at the chain reaction and how making decisions with the same tiles could end with a different result. It'll be a good way to test your instinct or help you with your decision making and realizing that really whatever hand you picked, or category for that matter, may have still been the right choice, because you might end up with the same result. Let's see, we ended up with 4 discards, but in between 2 pair hands. Let's see what happens with this one. Now, in this particular case, I want to look at my book because I want to look at either Big Chow's. This is the book I'm referring to, the green book. It has all the hands in it. It's not very thick, but it's got over 80 hands in there. And it's divided by category, so it is kind of easy to find what you want to play if you know the categories. I want to quickly look at date hands. The date hands are primarily around 7s and 4s, I've noticed. There are some other numbers in there, but I try to remember 7s and 4s for date hands. We don't want to play hands of honors because we only have 2 honors. We definitely have mixed suits here, so a mixed suit option might work. We only have 1 pair in our numbers. Numbers are with simples, meaning the numbers are 2 through 8. You can't use terminals, which are 1s and 9s, in a numbers hand. That's one of the categories. There's also a date hand that you might be able to play, but we have evens and odds, and we don't really have a good sequence here. Plus we have a pair of 8s, which would be in the middle of the sequence. So I don't think a gate hand would work. Jewel hands are with dragons, and we have no dragons. So I would think either a sequence hand, pair hand, which we did before, or big chows. Let's try big chows and see where this goes. So I'm going to hold all my 6, 7, 8, 9, and I don't care what suit they're in or where they lie. Like, I don't care where my 6s are at this point, because I have all these discards that I can work with, and until a pattern reveals itself, and then I'll make my decision. So let's throw away the West, the 1 crack, and the 5 crack. I want to break up that pair early, because I don't want to get stuck with a pair during the Charleston and end up having to pass a pair. That would be very uncomfortable and not a good strategy. So let's see what we got here. All right, so we've got a 4-bam, a green dragon, and a 3 dot. I'm going to hold the green dragon. I don't know if there's a mixed suit option with chows and dragons. Let me just take a quick peek. Chows and dragons, confused pungs, 1, 2, 3 in each suit, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we do have a 1, 3. We've got lots of 6, 7, 8, 9. We do have a potential 4, 5, 6. And then you have to have a pung and a pair of opposite honors. So we would have to keep that. Let's just see. We have 6 tiles if we go for big chows. If we do confused chows, which would look like this, one, 2, 3 in one suit, 4, 5, 6 in a second suit. Make sure it's in camera here. And then 8, 7, 8, 9 in a third suit, plus a pung and a pair of opposite honors. That would give us 5 discards. So that is a little bit better, actually, than big chows. Now, big chows is a double limit hand. This is a single limit hand, and we do not have any multiples here. I think we should stick with big chows, because we do have a multiple, and you have to have one of each suit. So we can use that 8 crack in the 7, 8, 9 mixed suit requirement. So I think we should stick with big chows. Let's break this up then. Pass a 1, 3 east. And we're going to take, we don't need a photo. And we have discards. Let's hold on to the dragon and pass one of each suit. We did get a keeper here. Okay, so we ended up with 5 discards. Really 6, because we've got our pair here. So we have a pair of 6s, 7, 8, 9 here, 7, 8, 9 here, 8, 9 here. We need obviously the 7 crack, 9 cracks, 8 bam, 9 bam, 7 dot, and then we need 7 bam or dot and a 9 bam or dot here. So we've got a lot of work to do. And then there's all our discards. We have 6 discards. So my instinct with the first hand was right. The one suit, I believe it was pair hand, either razzle or dazzle. We ended up with 4 discards. Even though we still had to make a choice, there were a lot more options and wiggle room with that one suit plan. So I made the right choice. And I think that was the result of this particular exercise. If you haven't tried this yet, give it a try and come back and let me know. Write it in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click that subscribe button. And between now and the next chain reaction video for Wright-Patterson Mah Jongg. May all your picks be keepers.